Hello, my name is Oriana, and I will be explaining how you can use semantic mapping within a physical education class or lesson. This lesson will be used for a 10th grade physical education class, and the textbook I will be using is Physical Education Activity Handbook, the 13th edition by Jerem McManama. Here's a quick overview of what semantic mapping is. It is when you take one concept word and find multiple related words to the concept word. The direct quote from Reading Rocket's organization is, "The purpose of creating a map is to visually display the meaning-based connections between a word or phrase or a set of related words or concepts." How I would be using this within my classroom in my lesson is taking a specific word and having the students go up to a whiteboard and taking that word and finding connections to it to make it easier to remember and use later. For this example of this, I used backpedaling, which you could use reverse or jogging. And after they go up to the board and try to find as many connecting words as they can, they will go back to their desk and write a sentence using the word in a sentence. Use a sentence using the word. I backpedal when playing basketball to keep my eye on the person dribbling the ball. This is just my example of how you could use the word within a sentence and how you could use the word later within the assignment I've created. My why and how. A couple of whys are it helps with creativity, it's a different way of learning, it can be very interactive and fun, it's very unique, and it creates involvement, because there are so many different ways to connect different words to how someone can see them or relate them to something else. With my lesson, I will be using volleyball. Within volleyball, there are so many different terms that kids use for different types of things, like passing and hitting. While some children say hitting, others say spiking. Setting, serving, everything. Like, while some people say passing, some say bumping. So for my example, I'm using forearm passing, which can be passing, bumping, really anything. Hitting by some people, but the correct term is forearm passing. Ways you can relate that is chest passing a basketball, hitting a tennis ball, or any kind of assist in any kind of sport. And then I would have the children go back to their desk and write a sentence relating it to something in their lives or into a sport that they do know very well to help them understand the specific vocabulary. How I would assess how well the students understand is I would give them a couple of minutes to write a sentence using multiple vocabulary words that they will learn within the lesson in multiple different sentences. As in, I forearm pass the ball to my teammate, or I forearm pass the ball to my setter, who set the ball to our outside hitter. With multiple different vocabulary words and slang used within volleyball, there are multiple different ways a child can write this sentence or write a sentence using this word. It will give me a chance to really gauge not only how well they understand the specific vocabulary word, but also understand the multitude of words within the sport. Overall, I chose semantic mapping because it helps with the complexity of different sports and their different uses of vocabulary and different words within them. And overall, it helps greatly on keeping thoughts regulated and keeping track of how well students understand certain words and rules within a sport.